Don't do this at home.
Today we're smoking the Kentucky Fire Cured MUWAT from Drew Estate. MUWAT, of course, means my Uzi weighs a ton. And this sucker is fire cured, which makes it pretty much unlike most other cigars on the market. This is my first experience with Kentucky Fire Cured tobacco, and you get to watch my reaction. All I've done is I pulled this out of the wrapper and I smelled it once, and that's my only impression of it so far, so let's get into it. The wrapper is a San Andreas Maduro, and the fillers are, of course, Kentucky Fire Cured American tobacco from Kentucky and Virginia, but apparently there's also some fillers or possibly a binder leaf in there from Nicaragua and Brazil. And honestly, I don't have to put my nose that close to this thing to pick up on the aroma, because it is pungent. Obviously it's smoky. I figured out the other day a way to describe this, as I smelled it the first time and I couldn't figure it out. Smokehouse almonds. If you've ever opened a can of those things and it's just that really sweet, smoky aroma that comes off of that, that's the best comparison that I can make to this. It is unlike anything else I've ever smoked, almost unlike anything I've ever smelled before. So I've been dying to smoke this thing to figure out what this thing is all about. So here we go. Appearance wise, it looks pretty darn good. It's got a double cap, but it's almost kind of a 1.5 cap. The top cap is so darn small. But great construction looking at it. Pretty even and fairly firm pack. Man, the foot aroma isn't any different than the wrapper. It's all the same. Alright, let's get this thing cut. Straight smoky pre-light draw. A little light on the pre-light draw, and the head is extremely tightly packed. We'll see. Ooh, a little bit of flavor on the tongue there too. Very reminiscent of smokehouse almonds. Alright, let's get lit. Tons of smoke output here. The aroma doesn't really come through in the flavor, at least initially. I mean, obviously I have to kind of find out here in a little bit, but initially all I've got is a slight smokiness and kind of a oaky wood flavor. It's kind of a cross between like an oak and a cedar wood flavor there. Okay, here we go. Find out what else we can get out of this thing. About 10 minutes in. I apologize for the lack of ash on the klutz. This thing is really quite enjoyable. Totally new to me. Mesquite, I think, is the best way to describe this flavor. I really enjoy smoking meats. I've got a smoker that I got on my back patio that I've just used for years, and I just love the flavor of smoked meat, and this cigar would pair awesome with that. But anyways, I've used mesquite wood on a number of occasions to use to burn and smoke the meat with, and this is very reminiscent of that. If you're not familiar with mesquite, it's a hardwood, but it also has kind of like a lot of the characteristics of a softwood. So it's kind of piney, a little bit of cedar, but also it's kind of mapley, kind of sweet. And overall, it's kind of the flavor of this cigar. Other than that, like I say, it's just kind of sweet. That's all I'm really getting out of it so far. It's kind of like a medium to full bodied. I didn't check to see what the body was before I started smoking it, but yeah, it's actually got a pretty good body to it and really enjoyable. Tons and tons of smoke, high output smoke on this thing. Such a small stick too. Really enjoyable so far, and we'll check in soon. About 30 minutes here. What an absolute firecracker of a cigar, packed with flavor. Right after we last spoke, there was a very strong showing of a juniper flavor. Not something I figured I'd ever describe in a cigar, but there it is. Now, that's balanced out with a little bit of earthiness. That's about it. Still tons of smoke output. Still a really enjoyable cigar. Still a little bit light on the draw. I've been smoking it probably a little too quick. But you can see now, got a good ash on it. Nice and tight. Great stick. Here goes. There it is, guys. What a tasty little stick. All right. Whew. So first third, pretty good. I mean, it was really very different. Everything was about this cigar, really. Not surprising given the way that it's made. So, first third, some cedar, some oak, sweet tobacco flavor, really good. Second third, heavy on the juniper kind of portion of that. Mesquite flavoring. Mapley, sweet, but also kind of piney. A juniper flavor in there. The kind of almost like the last half of the second third and through the final third, nice earthiness came up and complemented really well with that juniper flavor and kind of those other wood flavors that were in there. Overall, the cigar is pretty unlike anything else on, at least that I smoked. So definitely enjoyable, something new, something different, really good. One thing I forgot to mention is this cigar is actually a collaboration between Drew Estate and Joya de Nicaragua. So these are actually made in the Joya de Nicaragua factory, and using the tobaccos from Drew Estate, the Kentucky Fire cured tobacco from Virginia and Kentucky. So really enjoyable stick. I'm really happy with it. I'm kind of sad that I only bought one. I wanted to try it because I hadn't, and I've been kind of scared of it for a while. I've been wanting to try it, and I was like, I'm not sure. Really happy I did. I would definitely recommend just something different, you know? Really good. I don't know what else to say. It's really what I wanted to smoke tonight, even though I had no idea what it was going to be like, and I'm really glad that I did. So I highly recommend that you try it out. I think it'd be a really, I mean, if you're into cigars, but you're trying to maybe develop your cigar palate, you know, picking out the different flavors and picking up on the nuances and stuff that you find in cigars, I think this would be a great place to start, you know, because it's got some really obvious flavors, but there are also flavors that are sometimes found in regular cigars, you know, woody flavors and stuff like that. So definitely recommend it, you know, but again, to everyone. So great stick. The My Uzi Weighs a Ton Kentucky Fire Cured from Drew Estate and Joya de Nicaragua. There it is, guys. Happy smoking.